And I hope you can see me. I hope you can see me. And if you can't, I think you should.
We can't
Um,
hear you.
all right.
Hey, bad.
So, so the long-awaited day has come where, we're going to be spending time talking about, our career or careers and how to, change or navigate through the very difficult times. So I think today's theme is navigating through the current Canadian job market, challenges, and how to prepare. And that's the topic for today. Um, Being an HR professional, I can tell you for a fact that getting a job in Canada is it's very, very difficult. So right now it's the employers market, unlike COVID, during COVID or pre-COVID. Um, we had more jobs than people, but right now it has switched. So getting a job now is very, very difficult. So today's session, we're going to spend, talking about what are the tricks that we can use to get what we want. And then it doubles with cybersecurity. So we're going to have another guest speaker, Fola, who will be taking us through the masterclass on cybersecurity. So I actually wanted to do cybersecurity few years ago, but unfortunately I didn't take the leap of faith. So maybe this would, based on how the session goes, I
Awesome.
might be convinced to move to or have good knowledge on being a cybersecurity. Um, so in terms of today's agenda, again, we are starting with introduction and welcoming, and Oli has put in a chat there where everyone should please tell us your name, and then tell us what you do. So it's actually on the chat. So when you open the group chat on Zoom, you should be able to see it there. Okay. So we want to know you as well. We want to know what you do. And even though you are not working and all that, you can just, let us know what your interest is. And then we're going to do an icebreaker. The icebreaker will last for about 20 minutes. And then we'll have the first speaker, Prudvi, who is my colleague, is a well-known talent acquisition, is it not specialist, is more of, in the talent world. It will give you the tricks and the gimmicks on how to navigate the job market. But he is the head of talent acquisition for General Motors. I think he'll be joining us very soon. And then we'll go on a break for about 15 minutes, and then we'll have the second speaker, Fola, come to bombard us with cybersecurity. Yeah, so Prudvi has joined. Thanks, Prudvi, for joining. Thanks. So, like I said, first speaker, Prudvi, who is the head of talent acquisition in General Motors, and is going to tell us, everything that we need to know. Being a professional for many years in the HR field, and I'm lucky to have him, join us and speak to everyone. And then, like I said, we're going to have a guest speaker, Fola, who is going to take us through cybersecurity. And then we'll end with a question and answer. So in case you have any question and answer, we would be able to take it. With that, I will hand it over to Oli, who will then take us further. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brother Jide. Thank you so much. So we have an exciting, I'll say 2 hours roughly packed ahead of us. So please get engaged, get involved. I think one of the perks of being here is an opportunity to network. You never know who you might meet, how you might socialize. I feel like, if you have a LinkedIn profile, jump in the chat, we can all follow each other. I'm here in Approve It is a talent acquisition. I'm a talent, so I'm gonna put myself out there. So I feel like, network with people, chat up people in the chat. You never know what might come up. Like expose yourself, right? And I feel like opportunities then will come to you, but it's an opportunity to put yourself out there and then, meet other people and find out what's going on out there. So please, if you have questions, even during the break, I think we're gonna take questions for Provi just because you might not be able to wait till the end. So if you have questions during the break, I think we have Sister P. She's gonna be moderating that session. Plus, so if you have questions and you can't wait, just put it in the chat, and then during the Q&A, we can kind of pedal back on that and go through those questions. So please, it's a free forum. It's a fun forum. It's career. How can we get better? We're looking into 2025. So please jump in, have fun with us, and let's get started. But just to get us all warmed up, because I know that we're still feeling a bit, cold and, in our little shells. So to get us all started, we're just gonna play a little game. So I put together a Kahoot game. Guys, we have what, 25 people. I'm not gonna play, but I expect even Pruvi, Brother Gide, everybody get involved, right? I have a little questions that I put together around talent, and where we just looking at the stat of the demand on the job market, and also where we're going, right? What does it say out there? What does it look like out there? So please, everybody get involved, answer the questions, and you never know, you might win something. I teach in the teenage department, right? They never want to play games unless there is like a value to it. And then sometimes we don't tell them there's a value to it. And then at the end, we'll say, oh, you want this. And they're like, oh, Auntie, why didn't you tell me? So I'm putting out the clue out there. There might be. You never just know. So please jump in and get involved. So I'm just gonna share my screen, and then we're gonna get started with the games. We did have a run through of this, so hopefully it doesn't mess up. uh Please, can everyone see my screen? I just want to come.
Yes, like I can.
Awesome. Okay, thank you. All right. So I'm just waiting so we're gonna all get out our phones. I hope we're not just joining on our phones. So if we're not joining on our phones, please, this is the game, the pin. The pin is 892-5426. 892-5426. I'm still waiting for the players. I don't have anybody on yet. 892-5426. 892-5426. All right, we have one person in the house. All right, we're waiting for more people. Guys, as we said, let's get involved. 892-5426. 892-5426. 4 people. Thanks, guys. 892. All right. I think we should at least have 20 people. We have like 25 people, right? So I'm thinking 20 sounds like a good number. We're at 6 people. Come on, join in. Join in. We might learn 1 or 2 things about start, and maybe a new career I should probably start jumping into very soon. The world is always evolving. We have 8 people. Let's make it a good 10. A good 10 people. 892-5426. 892. The pin, I think it's kahoot.it. And then the pin will be 892-5426. Kahoot.it. 892-5426. All right, we have 11. Wow. Okay. I think we can do 15. Okay, when we get to 15, we'll get started. And then, the other 10 plus people, you might miss out on the prize, right? 892-5426. Kahoot.it. 892-5426. Just one more minute and then we'll get started. 892-5426. Come in, come have fun with us. You're gonna start seeing the answers and you're gonna be like, oh, but I know this. I would have gotten that. You don't want to miss out on the fun.
Is there gonna be like a gifts at
It's a
the end?
surprise. It's a surprise. It's a surprise.
There you go.
All right, I see that we have 10 people. We'll just get started anyways. And then you can still join in. So please, if you're not in yet, you can still come back and join anytime. And you never know, maybe people here will know the answers anyway, so you might come in and win everything at the end. So good times. All right. So I'm getting started. Uh-oh. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay, so we have our first question. We're going to do 10 question. What profession is most demand globally in 2024? Demand being the key word. What profession is most in demand globally? Not that it's most prevalent, is in demand. We have healthcare worker, we have data analyst, we have social media manager, and we have AI specialist. All right. We have 5 people in the house that got that. Okay. So the answer is actually AI specialist. It's the most demanded as we can expect. That's where, career or profession is kind of leaning towards. So yeah, let's move to the next question. Who is leading? Raj. Okay, I guess it's game on. If you haven't joined yet, you can still join. It's kahoot.it 8925426. We're going to question number 2. Which industries has the highest average salary in Canada? Which industry has the highest average salary in Canada? We have finance and insurance, we have healthcare, we have technology, and we have legal. Which has the highest average? Guys, when I emphasize, there might be something there. Average salary in Canada. Yes. The answer is actually the tech industry. They have the highest average salary. I think with the healthcare, you might see like a big gap, but the most, like the best or the highest average salary is actually the tech industry. Raj, what happened? Okay, we'll expect Raj to be back, but GFA has leaped to the top of the board. Question number 3. What skill is considered the most important for the future of work according to the World Economic Forum? What skill is considered the most important for the future of work according to the World Economic Forum? Emotional intelligence, creativity, coding, and digital literacy. I feel like this might throw people off. I'm actually excited to see. What skill is considered the most? I knew it. Nobody got it. Crazy. Yes. It's actually emotional intelligence. I feel like they are scared that we're all going to become robot. And the future of work, things that what we're going to need in the next 20, 30 years is actually emotional intelligence. You can Google that, okay? Yeah, I'm not sure if we're gonna see much move. Okay, nobody got it right. So GFA is still first. Next question. What is the most popular career change in 2024? The most popular career change in 2024. We have teacher to data scientist. We have retail worker to web developer. We have marketing to UX designer, and we have nurse to software engineer. Diverse group here. Only one person got it. Yes, marketing to UX designer. I was so curious about this as I was like, why? But apparently it's, the marketing people is kind of the same soft skills that you need to become a US. It's quite interesting. But yeah, you can Google that too. So who is leading the board? Okay, Raj is back in the game. GFA is still top, but Raj is back in third. What country has the highest number of remote workers in 2024? Which country has the highest number of remote workers in 2024? All right, we have United States, we have Germany, we have Canada, we have India. What are we thinking? I know like a lot of offshore worker in India, but I'm like leaning towards like, all right, I see. I that threw me off too. I thought it was definitely gonna be India, but it's actually the USA is they have the highest number of remote workers. So we see G coming to number 4, but GFA, the top 3 are holding strong. All right, let's see how the 6th question changes that dynamic. Which of this industry is most likely to be disrupted by automation in the next 10 years? Which of this industry is most likely to be disrupted? Not already disrupted, but most likely and in 10 years. We have lore, we have agriculture, we have retail, and then we have healthcare. Lore, we have agriculture, we have retail, and we have healthcare. Yes, you're right. We're gonna have robots working in the checkout, and already we have like we can check out by ourselves, right? So that will be interesting to see what else is coming up in that industry. Okay, how did that? Raj storming back straight up to number one. Okay, GFA, you got to see how the next question goes. We have 4 questions to go. What percentage of job in US? Oh, my bad. This was actually supposed to be Canada. So I'm sorry. It's actually in Canada. What percentage of job in Canada requires a college degree? The percentages of job in Canada that requires for you to have a college degree. When you look at jobs out there, how many of those are requesting for you to actually have a job degree? Yes, it's actually 2/3. So you're right if you said 66%. Yep. So what does the leaderboard? King Matt. Okay, first time. First time. All right. 3 questions left. Which of these jobs typically involves traveling the most? So you want to travel, you want to incorporate traveling or working. What job should you be looking at? What career path should you be going into? I would love to do that. Software developer, travel blogger, management consultant, and project manager. Okay. Well, I can tell you for a fact I'm not traveling right now, so yes, I know. Everyone said I knew everyone was gonna be travel blogger, but it was one of those tricky questions too. It's actually a management consultant. Travel blogger, they kind of have to plan and they need the money as well, right? But management consultants, when you're consulting on a managerial level, you probably have to travel a lot more. All right. King Matt still holding that top spot. We have 3 questions left. What's the average number of jobs a person will have in their lifetime? What is the average number of jobs? I think we can start looking. How many jobs have I had so far, right? Where am I going? What am I thinking? Well, let us know. What is the average number of jobs a person will have in their lifetime? That should be interesting. Let's see. I think a lot of people would think based off themselves. Yeah, it's actually 10. A person will have about 10 jobs in a lifetime. And apparently, most of those jobs will actually be before you're 35, 40. So that's an interesting fact out there as well. King Matt is still the top of the board. We have 2 questions left. Okay. If you want to disrupt that top of the board, this is your time. What is the reason most people will leave their job according to recent survey? What is the top reason people leave their jobs according to the top recent survey? The top reason most people will leave their job. If you're thinking of leaving your job right now, why would you want to do it? Why? Why do you want to do it? Yes, that is interesting. Yeah, poor management is actually the top reason. I think it's an interesting stat because I would have thought as well that it was lack of career advancement, but it's actually poor management, which I guess relates to poor career advancement because they're not planning well. All right, King Matt. Wow, the board remains the same. So we have King Matt, we have Raj, we have G, we have GFA, and we have Lightbearers. Top 5. Let's see, the last question. The last question. Is this board going to move? You need a degree to work in tech, true or false? You need a degree to work in tech, true or false? Is it a trick question? Is it not? Is it a trick question? Do you need a degree to work in tech? Let's see. What did everyone come with? What's the answer? Yes, it's actually false. There are careers in tech that you can go into without degrees, and you've had cases of people doing coding and they don't need a degree as well to work in tech. So let's see who is the top. Sorry, guys. Who is on our podium? At number 3, we have G. Woo!
Oh, that's me. That's me. That's me.
Oh, okay, Rajide. Who is Raj? At number 2, we have Raj.
That's Coach
Nice.
V.
And who is King Matt? Is our winner. Yay.
That's Matty. Actually, I must say, Oli, that I think it's going to be cheating because myself and Prudvi, we are in the HR field.
Yeah, you
So,
guys knew most of the stats, right? Say, guys, that's what I tell you. So thank you so much. As we said, I will keep our surprise mutes till the end. Stay tuned. Thank you for joining on the game. Thank you, everyone.
all right. Thank you. Thank you, Oli. That was brilliant. In fact, I didn't really know. I mean, I knew that you didn't need like a degree to enter tech, but maybe it's something myself could be. I mean, because I know in our job, we usually put it there. You have to get this or you have to have that, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
what it is. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So let's just go into it. I guess we are about 31 on the call. So we'll start with the first guest speaker. His name is Prudviraj Nagtu, and he is the head of talent acquisition for General Motors. He has wealth of experience in the talent acquisition, which is recruitment space. And myself and Prudvi, we are colleagues, and we are, I can say is my buddy, is my good friend. So I'll let him also do due diligence in introducing himself. And then, like Oli mentioned at the end of his presentation, then we can take question for him because he might not be able to stay, till the end. And again, Prudvi, thank you so much for doing this. I know you are currently in India, but you took time out, from your family, and I guess it's midnight at your place already. So, a huge thank you to you, Prudvi. I really do appreciate it. So, over to you, Prudvi, and you can share your screen. Brotola, maybe you can,
Sure. Thank you so much,
um,
Jide.
you can make Prudvi a co-host, and then you can share a screen, and then you can, walk through
Yes,
the
go ahead,
presentation.
please. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Over to you, Prudvi.
Sure, Jide. You can hear me, right?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. But do let me know if you lost me, okay?
Sure.
Yeah, thank you. So, team, let me know when you can see my screen.
It's coming up. Yes, I see it. Carry on.
So, good morning, everyone, and happy Sunday for everyone. So, just want to introduce myself. So, my name is Prithvi Raj. So, people call me Raj, so it's easy to spell. So, that's the reason I added my name as Raj in the game too. Uh, so, when it comes to like my career side, like overall, I have like 10 plus years of experience into talent acquisition. And this is especially into technical side. Like why I'm saying I'm into technical side is because I'm graduated from an electronics background and I started my career as an embedded engineer. So I know how to write the code and deploy the code and everything. So that's the reason I've been coming from that tech industry specific. And then I moved into the recruiting. So I know end-to-end kind of like technology specific. I even still today also I do some kind of coding just for my sake. Because the reason is that I just want to keep on top of everything. So it's good to have that career knowledge as well. So that's the reason I learn all the new skills and everything every day. So that's how I've been into this industry. And currently I'm working with General Motors as a talent acquisition head. So I've been with GM like almost like 5 years now, and that's how I entered into GM. And even I came as an immigrant to Canada. I have also faced like a lot of struggles to get an opportunity here in Canada, and GM is my first opportunity, and I'm staying with GM from last 5 years. So that's how it started here with the General Motors. And so going forward, so today's agenda will be I'll be discussing with you all about the Canadian job market and as well as like what skills and educations are required for job opportunities in Canada, and how you can prepare your resume for with that skill sets regarding the job opportunity or something. I can provide you that details, and also I can share like more job responsibilities and challenges what people are facing today in the market to get an opportunity. And lastly, I'll be sharing some interview tips and tricks. So there will be some kind of like interview preparation trips, and even if you didn't get an opportunity, like how you can be prepared with that, with the feedbacks and everything, so I can share more details on it. So Canada job market is shaped with a mix of global trends which is like economic policies and regional strengths. So today we will be exploring like the factors influencing the employment opportunities, and the workforce across the Canada about it. So starting with the introduction, like understanding about the Canadian job market. So today we commence our exploration of Canadian job market, a complex and dynamic environment we have right now. So to say that like labor market trends, workforce demographic, and as well as like employment types. So right now, like people are more trending towards like freelancing, and also there are like more people are interested to go with the contract opportunities, and there are some kind of like a traditional full times as well. That's how the market dynamics is going on right now, and as well as understanding the market. So why we need to understand the market is because like if you are looking out for opportunities, just don't directly go and apply for the opportunities or something. You need to understand the market before you go and apply for any kind of roles. So I want to share like one example with you all. So that one example is like I have a friend who was working in India for almost like 12 years in a Salesforce development, and he just recently moved like a year back as an immigrant to Canada. And you all know the current market situations and everything. The current market is very slow, and people are struggling to get an opportunity. So from last 1 year, he doesn't get an opportunity or something in Canada. So he's doing kind of some kind of like an odd jobs or something. So what I suggested him is that like anyone who came into Canada need to understand the market first and then get into the opportunities. So you need to understand like how the market is today and where exactly the opportunities are. And you need to explore and look into the Google for opportunities. And you also need to connect with the people. So connections is one of the most major important part. Uh, that's how I'm here today to make the connections with you all. And so that's how he got into the market trends and everything. He saw that where exactly the Salesforce development roles are open right now, and which companies are hiring in the Salesforce development. And he went into the job opportunities. He looked at the company profile. He learned more about the company, and he went into the previous job postings and everything. And then he connected with the TA people in that company, and as well as he connected with a couple of tech people in that company, and he made connections with them. And I know in the current situation, they don't have an opportunities at that time, but whenever they have an opportunity, they contacted them directly. And right now he's working in the Salesforce with the Salesforce company. Right now he's doing that. And after like 12 months of struggle, he got the opportunity. So why I'm saying is the reason because of this example is don't think that you will not find an opportunity. You will find an opportunity, but you need to find the right way to get into that roles. So that's the reason I'm saying you that to find a good opportunity, you need to understand the market trends and as well as the market insights and everything. So that's a major factor to understand the market. And also analyzing the contextual factors as well, like such as immigration policy. So what exactly the reason is that, every day to day immigration policies are changing. So sometimes they're open for permanent residents, and sometimes they're open for work permits, and sometimes they're saying they will not extend the like kind of their work permit or something. So that's also one of the contextual factors behind the Canadian job market. And the other one is also the work-life balance. So what exactly we are seeing the trends today is that previously the kind of like an older generation are okay working in like a work-life balance, expectations are okay with them. But the coming generation, like a younger generation, especially they were very specific on the work-life balance, that they need to have the work-life balance and as well as their time to work around on all that stuff. So that's also one of the contextual factors behind the Canadian job market today. And when it comes to the key industries in Canada, so just to give you an idea, so this is the first space like where exactly you need to find an opportunity. So why I'm saying this is because there are specific locations where you can find an opportunity. So you can't just find kind of like a natural resources opportunity in kind of like working in BC or something. So sometimes there are specific locations where you can find an opportunity. So I can share you more details about it, like what exactly are the focus areas right now, like trends in Canada. So the one is like technology industry. So technology industry continues to have like a rapid change and innovation. So mostly you will see some roles related to the software development, and also AI is everywhere. So AI is also one of the top things that all the developmental technology industries are looking at, and also the IT support roles. So these kind of roles you can find right now in the market for the technology industry. So if you are interested in focusing in anything related to technology, so these are the major opportunities you will find in the market. And the next one is about the healthcare. So the healthcare industry is also been emerging because of like the lot of people coming into Canada, and there are like a lot of potential opportunities for people. So especially what we are seeing the trends right now is like you will be seeing a lot of opportunities in nurses, healthcare aid, because I know I saw just when I'm joining the call, I saw one of the participant is also a healthcare aide. I saw that. So that's also something like a good trending reasons like why I'm talking today about the healthcare details as well, and as well as the mental health professionals as well. So these are something like emerging as well in Canada because of people coming into Canada. And the other one is like natural resources. So natural resources is because like Canada's most fundamental part of economy is like natural resources. And you'll find some opportunities like in extraction management or like environmental sustainability and all these kind of positions. And the last one I want to share, like there are also some kind of like very crucial jobs which are in the high demand are like skilled trade workers. So if you can see like electricians, millwright workers, they're really hard to find right now in the market. And they're also like a kind of like a high paid jobs these days. So if someone is interested with that kind of opportunities also, that's kind of like a good career growth as well these days. And a lot of manufacturing companies are hiring for like these kind of skill trade positions in the market. So as I mentioned that when it comes to the regional market insights, so where exactly you can find these opportunities. So if you go to Western Canada, like kind of like a BC or something, you will find like more positions related to energy, mining, agriculture, or like any kind of like green jobs or something like that, you will find more in British Columbia. And in central Canada, like when it comes to like Ontario, Quebec, you will find like more opportunities into technology, financial, and manufacturing. So these are the main focus areas. If you are looking for opportunities in central Canada, so these are the areas which are emerging, and you'll find a lot of opportunities in Canada. So that's one. And also we have like Atlantic Canada as well. So where opportunities is more like for fisheries, tourism, and also remote jobs. So they offer like a lot of remote positions as well in Atlantic Canada region. And in Northern Canada, so mining and energy are the key industries. But these jobs are kind of like very highly specialized jobs. So that's the reason you will find like more in the Northern Canada for mining and energy. So these are kind of like key industries in Canada, and where exactly you can look into the opportunities. But I know it's kind of like I'm just going on that, but I can share you the slides as well, because you will come to know about like, okay, where exactly these positions are located. So you have more idea about it. So whenever you're looking for opportunities, you can look into the slides, and you'll get to know like where you can find these opportunities, in which area you can find it. So you will get some more idea on it. And so we will be talking about demographics of like workforce as well. So understanding the demographic and characteristics of job seekers will trend improvement of their job market as well. So I want to give you an idea like what exactly it is. So the first one is about age distribution. Sorry. So the first one is about the age distribution. So what exactly is this? So you will see many so you will see like a youth which are like 18 to 24 years, where is like high unemployment rate compared to other groups today. So that's something we have having. So many in this category are like seeking like entry level position, and also they're like balancing their studies and work, like doing both simultaneously. So that's the reason we are seeing like a lot of unemployment rates these days for the youth people which are in 18 to 24 age. and as well as the prime working age, which is the exact age of 25 to 54. So majority of this workforce falls here. So with varied levels of experience and education. So who is looking out for like seeking career developments and also like stability in the same job or like transition into some new industries. So these people are doing good, like majority of the workforce. And the other area is like older workforce. So which is like 55 years and above. So these people are also like growing participation due to delayed in the retirements as well. So they were like interested to work more and they're not retiring and they're working for more time for that. So that's the reason you're seeing that. And also the challenges including like reskilling for modern industries and age related biases as well. So that's the reason you will be seeing like old workers as well into these roles. Uh, so we will be talking about the resources like tools and support systems. So how you need to look for an opportunities. So the main thing, how you will be applying for an opportunities is using the job boards. So there are different job boards in Canada. So maybe you can use ZipRecruiter or like Indeed, LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is kind of like a major platform. So to make like some really good amount of connections and having like a face-to-face interactions, LinkedIn is the best way. But the other job boards is like you're just applying for the opportunities on like Indeed and ZipRecruiter. You don't have that like much face-to-face interactions. So that's the reason I strongly recommend everyone should have like a LinkedIn profile. Even you may not from a tech industry or something, even if you may be a health worker or even if you made a skill trade worker or something, it doesn't matter. End of the day, if you need to make a connections, that means you need to have like kind of like a professional profile. So that's how the LinkedIn would be the best way to get into that. So that's the reason these are the kind of like a job boards to look for an opportunities. And other one is like training organizations. So why I'm talking about the training organizations is that there were a lot of immigrants right now in Canada who came to make their like kind of like a career a great success, and they are looking out for opportunities here in Canada. So I know how much they are struggling for an opportunity in Canada. So there are some training organizations which is free of cost. So if you know that Canada Job Bank is one of it, Work BC is one of it. Employment Ontario will also provide trainings, and YMCA Canada, which are free of cost. So you can just go into directly into the face-to-face and you can just ask them like, is there any kind of like a training or development programs or something? So you can register for it. So that's on the training organization. And simultaneously, you have some online platforms as well. If you are something you want to learn about technology related or anything else, something on online. So you have LinkedIn Learning as well. So Coursera is also like half funded by the government these days. So you can find a lot of free courses as well in Coursera, and also the digital skill for youth. So this is also kind of like an online platform where you can find like a free training options for you. So please keep that in mind. So whenever you have an opportunity, whenever you have a free time or something, it's good to upskill your skills. So you have like a really good development options for here. So you can go into this training organizations and you can upskill your careers. And that's a really good option for you to enter into the market. So that's how it works. And the other one is like career councils. So career counselors are like someone whom you know well, or someone who know about the job market and job roles can provide you some good career advisors as well. So as an example, myself or GDay, we part of HR today. So we know like how the market opportunities are right now in Canada. So we can provide you some guidance on it, or else we can connect you to some technical people or some other kind of technology areas, or we can make you some connections on it. So you can get some really good career advisors from them. So that's how you need to make this kind of career counselors. So they can guide you through like each and every process as well. So if you connect with myself, so I can provide you like very clear view of like what exactly the recruiting works and how you need to apply for an opportunity, how you need to prepare your resume, how you need to crack your interview and everything. So that kind of details I can share you more about it. So that's how you need to have your career counselors. And as well the community resources. So like these kind of events what we have today also provides you some wonderful opportunities and some good connections, which provides connections because I'm an employer. and there may be a couple of other job seekers as well in the same meeting today. So this is kind of like the community is making like connections between both of us today here, so we can explore more opportunities. I know some people, we have like as a General Motors, we have a couple open opportunities right now in our career side, and some of you here in the meeting are looking for an opportunities. You're happy to welcome, so I can share you more details about it. So that's how these kind of community resources helps for employers and as well as for job seekers to get into that opportunity. So that's the tools and support systems what we have today, and as well as the challenges faced by the job seekers today or job scarcity. So what exactly the reason behind is like many regions in Canada experience a job scarcity due to the economic shifts, and also leading to increased competition among applicants as well, because everyone are looking for opportunities right now. So that's the reason they're like huge competition these days. And this situation is especially evident in industries undergoing through automation or currently who are going through restructuring or kind of process. So you will see a lot of job scarcity problems in there. And the next one is like skill set mismatches. So this is very common alignment you will find it. So between the skills possessed by the job seekers and the skills demanded by the employers. So I can share you some kind of an example with it, because these days we have like an example of data analyst. So data analysts just work on the data and they just share the data with the companies and everything. That's how their analysts responsible. But right now companies are looking more than that. So they are looking someone who can write the code and who can deploy the code and who can run the data. So they need someone who can do everything. So that's how the AI market entered. So that's the reason they're looking out for someone who can work with AI, artificial intelligence, so they can do everything. So that's how the AI market is ruling today and trending in the Canadian job market and everywhere in the globe. And as well as the economic uncertainty, so like inflation, or if you take like high interest rates today, and also the global economic pressure as well. So it's creating like hesitation among the employers because of that kind of like economic uncertainty. The employers are also thinking to hire people right now and also investing in the new roles. So the employers are also thinking about it, and same time the job seekers are also delaying some kind of like a major decisions today, like people are thinking to relocate to another opportunities, because we don't know how it's going to look like in the other areas. Because I have some good examples, like currently when we have opportunities, when we are sharing the relocation, people moving from Alberta or from Nova Scotia to Toronto, which is very highly expensive. So they are looking like more salary and as well like more relocation. So that's the reason the people are thinking to make that relocation options as well. And these are kind of like ongoing situations, whatever we have in the economic uncertainty and the system barriers. So as explained in the last slides as well, there are some kind of like factors like discrimination, geographic isolations, and lack of mentorship is also kind of like system barriers what we have today in the current market. So when it comes to skills and education, so we will be talking more about like what exactly we will be discussing about the skills and education, what employers is looking out, and what exactly we are doing right now as a job seeker in the market. So significant of skills and education. So we need to understand first the job description. So this is kind of like my suggestion from as a TA leader, is that whenever you find an opportunity, don't blindly go and apply for a role. Please read the job description at least twice to get to know what exactly the employer is looking at. So then you will get more idea that what exactly the employer is thinking. And also you can prepare your resume based on that, and also check for the qualifications. Because what we see is that almost like 1/3 of people have been rejecting in the earlier stages is because of this reason. People are blindly applying it. Like take an example, education qualifications. So we mentioned that, okay, we need a bachelor's degree, but people doesn't have a bachelor's degree or something. They just go and apply for the role and they get a rejection on the day one. So that's the reason we suggest make sure you check that significant skills and also the education and everything, and then apply for the role. And the other one is like impact on the career success. So proper education and skill sets directly correlate with the career advancement. So what exactly the reason is, because I can share like my personal story. I came from a technical background, and I chose into recruitment, but I didn't went into like a regular recruitment or something, because I have already my technical knowledge. So I want to use that technical knowledge into the recruitment industry. So that's how I've moved into the manufacturing organization, where I want to use my higher technical skills into the recruiting. And today that made me into success, into kind of like a leader in the TA. So that's the reason I'm saying you that if you are looking to get success in your career, please choose your proper education and the skill sets. So that makes your career growth going forward. So if you're choosing like if your education is one, and if your job is different, so it's very hard for you to make a decision for your career growth. So that's the reason perform that expectations and the job satisfaction is important. And other thing I want to also mention, like skills in high demand today, like soft skills, which are like most of the time it is very common here in that, which is more of like companies are asking, like people wants to know your behavioral skills, like soft skills, like more of like your emotional intelligence, and as well as the hard work you can do and the teamwork you can collaborate, and the adaptability of the technologies and everything. Companies are not only looking out for your technical skills these days, companies also looking out for something, how you can be a success in the company, and as well as make the company a success. So it's just not you being successful, it's also like you're making the company successful. That's how the company is looking out for the people these days. So that's how you need to look for a soft skills and technical skills. So currently trending with data analytics, as mentioned, like AI, data analytics are like the leading in the technical skills, and coding is part of like everyone's day-to-day life today. Who are working in the technology background, coding is like a most important area. And also the other areas like financial modeling and everything, like kind of like rapid advancements to the technology in the workplace today. So that's how the technical skills are working today. And there are some industry specific competencies as well. So if I can give you an example, like GM has like more, I don't know, like I have a question for every one of you. Do you know like what exactly is GM? GM is an automotive industry or an auto tech industry. Can anyone wants to answer this question?
It's a
Oh, yeah,
combination of both.
answer. Huh?
It's a combination of both.
That's the
Yes.
political answer.
Yeah.
Yes. So why I want to say this answer is because whenever I reach out to the people, or like people reach out to me, or like whenever we go for a career events, people ask this question every time with us. Do you guys also have like a software opportunities as well in GM? So people doesn't know that. People are still in that mindset that General Motors is like a automotive and they only have a manufacturing. So that's what people have there in mind. So that's what we need. Even the job seekers need to understand this. When you're searching for an opportunities, try to go into the company profile and look into that companies, because GM is an auto tech industry, because our automotive vehicles right now running on the technology. Everything is kind of like a software defined vehicle for us. So everything runs on the code and the data. So that's mean we have a lot of opportunities in the software development, and the next future vehicles are on software development.
So just to
So
put
that's
that
it.
into perspective, sorry, Prudhway, we have about 1,000 to 1,003 software engineers in our Markham office, and everything they do is technology. So just wanted to throw that out there. Prudhway, thanks.
Thanks, Jay. So that's how the industry specific competencies are also required. So there are like specific related to embedded technologies, like related to vehicles. And there are something related to MATLAB simulations and everything, which are like very industry specific competencies as well. So that's also one of it. And also the identifying the skill gaps. So regular assessment of like job market highlights, like there will be kind of some employer spotlights or areas that target like educational inactivities as well. So people have to look into that skill gaps as well. and make sure they have like a proper set of alignment on that. And educational requirements. So these, make sure these are also mandatory things. Don't think that if you have technical skills, you will get an opportunity. So these are also one of the opportunities to get a job in the market, because the degree requirements are very common. Like these days, all the employers are asking like, okay, kind of like different roles have like a degree requirements, and some kind of skill trade requirements at least need a high school degree or high school diploma or something like that. So that's also mandatory. Make sure you add your kind of education requirements into your resume. So that's going to be the mandatory. Sometimes there are rejections if they don't even add their kind of like their education requirements. Sometimes talent acquisition reject their profiles as well. So people, like the job seekers, doesn't know what's happening about it, but these are the different kind of reasons why people are not getting the opportunities. And the other one is like certifications. What I feel is that Canada, every opportunity you will find a certification. And these days, certification is very mandatory to get an opportunity. And that's also provide you an upskilling. So why I'm saying is that I entered as a talent acquisition here in Canada, and I did my project management in Canada. So I'm a PMP certified today. That's how my company gave me an opportunities to involve in the projects. I've been involved in a lot of projects. Right now, what exactly we were doing in the talent acquisition, I've been involved in that project planning, delivering and everything. I've been involved in that projects. So that means if you have some really good certifications, you will automatically get an opportunities for that. So make sure if you have an option, please go through the certifications. There are some free certification courses as well. So you can find in the Udemy website or something like that, you'll find even free certificate courses. And even on the LinkedIn Learning also, you'll find the certification courses as well. So that's also one of the things that you can upskill your career. And the skills specific education, like such as like medical trainings or technical boot camps or anything kind of like relevance in the education is also you can find in the opportunities. So when it comes to the defining the job responsibilities, as mentioned, like I want to be very high level on this, like you will find the role clarity is that, as I mentioned in the previous slides, whenever you're applying for an opportunity, make sure you understand the job responsibility and everything, because employers are looking out for something like, okay, whoever are looking for an opportunity, they need to understand the job. And as well as whenever they entered into the role, they have to start working on the role and they have to provide their 100%. So that's what the companies are looking out. So make sure if you want to succeed in your role, make sure you have that role clarity. Sorry for that. And the key duties. So job description like typically encompasses like several key duties that outlines daily tasks. So make sure you're reaching out the responsibilities and also like that are essential for your successes as well, and expectations and deliverables. So company have like a lot of expectations on the employers, and deliverables also that employees that empower the employees as well, and also that provides like a roadmap for your success as well. So that means if you have like a set of expectations and you are reaching that deliverables, that makes you success and as well as the employer success. So that's how you can retain your employment. So that's how you can proceed in your career. And regarding the impact in technology and remote work. So the landscape of job responsibilities is heavily influenced by technology advancements and shift towards remote work. So right now, all the technology kind of roles have been moved into like a remote work as well. So a lot of roles are open for the remote. So you can get like a lot of opportunities from anywhere in the globe right now. So you can find that opportunity. So that's also one of the technological impact we have. And the other one is like skill set evaluations. So as I mentioned that, don't stop your career when you get an opportunity. Try to learn the new updated technologies or skills and everything, because every day, every hour, you're getting new technology and new skills. So if you are still stuck in that the same technology, so you will not develop in your career. So every day you have to learn the new technologies, and that will be useful for your career. So also like upskilling and reskilling for your career longevity. So that is more important for you. So network and mentorship. So this is something I want to highlight you more about it. Like as mentioned, that role of networking is like effective networking will open the doors for an opportunity. So even if it's me or like anyone in the call today, everyone will get an opportunity using the networking only. When you have a good networking, it's easy to find an opportunity. I can 100% assure that. So if you have that networking kind of things, you will easily find a job opportunity in the market. And also, as I mentioned, like finding a mentor, try to find like a good mentor who can provide you like a right path to get the roles, and also building relationships. So cultivating relationship with professional communities that can lead you to resource sharing and collaborative learning experiences. So that can help you in your career. So going on to the LinkedIn recommendations. So as I mentioned you that everyone should have their LinkedIn profile. So this is kind of like my LinkedIn page. I just want to show you an example about it. So if you have like a professional kind of like your headshot and everything, so that makes you 9x more connection requests. So you will receive a lot of connection requests, and also like 21 times more profile views and 36 more messages. So that's the reason you have to have that professional kind of LinkedIn page to make like more connections or something like that. And even if you see that name and pronouns, so you can add your name and pronouns to show your commitment and inclusivity. And also you can share your headline. Myself, I shared my headline like I'm hiring today for one of the position you can see on the below here. And as well as if you are looking for an opportunities, you can add your set, say that you're looking for opportunities. So that makes employer to see your profile that you're open for the market, and they can reach out to you very easily. And also the pronunciation function as well. So there will be kind of like a 10 seconds greeting as well. You can share about your high level kind of like your portfolio or something like that. So that gives you an opportunity to reach out to you as soon as possible. So this is kind of like a LinkedIn recommendations from my end to make your professional career more success. Interview tips and tricks. So I want to share you some interview tips and tricks. This is more useful for you, like who are looking out for opportunities, or who are looking for like changes in the opportunity or something. So understand the job description and how it aligns to your skills and experience, and also discuss the job with someone you may know at your current company or your connections. So this is more important. As I mentioned that don't blindly go and apply for a role. Understand the opportunity, talk to someone about the role and get some clarity, and then go and apply. And examine like how the job market, how the job matches your strength, and you can speak those points in the interview. So you can say that like how this job is useful for you and what makes you difference in the for this role. So you can talk to the interviewers about it. And also you can say about the job matches strengths as well, and also the review question types. So identify the job required competencies, like what exactly the job competencies are, and think about like a behavioral questions. As I mentioned you that star method is one of the behavioral format where there will be some kind of like a situational based questions. So that's how the employers are looking out today, like how you can manage that kind of project or that kind of task. So behavioral interviews are kind of like more in the companies right now. So you need to also be more clear about that star method options as well. And also preparing your own insightful questions for the interviewers as well. And also reflect on your responses. So be prepared to discuss your strengths and as well as the skills. And also prepare some responses like why this job is the best fit for you. And also like think of a question to ask, like if you have any questions for the employer. And also learn your interview team. So this is more important. So why I want to say this is that whenever you are attending an interview, it's good to know about them prior to the interview. So they know that, so you can check them on the LinkedIn or something, which team they're currently working and what exactly they're currently doing in the company. And also you can understand about going into the company's profile and get to know more about it. So that's how you can maintain that relationship in the interview as well and take it forward. And what if you don't get an opportunity? So take time to process. I know, I understand, like there were a lot of times rejections you will see, but allow yourself to feel disappointed. So it's okay to upset, not a bad thing. But remind yourself that rejection is very common factor in everyone's life. So even like the most successful people have faced these kind of setbacks. So don't worry about it, but revert back with that feedback, whatever you got from the interview or from the employer. So whenever you have a feedback, it's really a good idea for you to take that feedback, and you can upskill your kind of skills and everything for your future applications. So that's kind of like a good reason to get that feedback. And reflect on your approaches, like elevate your resume, cover letter, and the interview performance. Like also like highlighting your strengths and experiences effectively is also a good way to approach the employers. And also make sure if there are any gaps, kind of like a skill gaps or something missing, so make sure you provide that detailed information about it, like what exactly the skills you're missing, how can you make difference for the company uh, with that kind of skill, so you can provide more differences. And also build your network, as I mentioned that any kind of role whenever you're applying, please connect with the talent acquisition in that company or like the technical team in that company. So that's the easy way to get an opportunity. So that's all from my end. So thank you so much, team. So this is my LinkedIn profile. So if you want to scan it or something, you can find my LinkedIn profile here. But I'll also drop you on the chat, like maybe my link as well, so people connect with me. And just to give an idea, I'm a 24/7 LinkedIn person. Anytime, midnight, 2 o'clock, or like 3 o'clock, also, even if you message me, I'll respond you on LinkedIn. So I'm kind of like a LinkedIn guy. I don't use any other kind of social networking platforms. So LinkedIn is my kind of like a social networking platform. So I play with it every day, and I respond to any number of messages. I have like almost 13,000 connections in mine. I'll respond to all my 13,000 connections anytime if they respond within 48 hours. So that's the reason. Connect with me. If you are looking out for opportunities, I'm more happy to help on that. And anything, like even for an opportunity or a career advice or any kind of like references or anything like that, please do reach out to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prove. That was world class. In fact, that was next to none. Thank you so much, and I think I can attest that I think you live, eat, breathe LinkedIn. Anytime I wake up at 6 o'clock, I'm already seeing posts like, does this guy even, does this guy sleep? So thank you so much for your wealth of knowledge. I really do appreciate. We do
Yep.
have some questions on the chat.
Yes.
So Matt asked, what kind of trainings, or maybe you already answered it in the course of the presentation, which I think you did, but if you want to shed more light, what kind of trainings can you advise for someone who has no background in tech?
Uh, so Matthew, there are some kind of like early learning courses as well in this. So kind of like if you want to like new to kind of like a technology background or something, so there are some courses which are like basic, intermediate, and as well as like experience. So you can start with like a basic courses. Maybe it can be related to coding, or if you want to kind of like enter into this global job market or something, you can learn about AI technologies as well. So there are some really good courses which gives you some very from starting from a very basic level to a higher level of experience side. So that's the reason you have different opportunities. If you want to learn coding, there are coding kind of like trainings as well. If you want to learn about data technology, you have that kind of basic skills and basics to intermediate to experience. So like whatever the career look you're looking out, so there are like different kind of trainings. But do reach out to me, like if you have something in your mind that you're thinking to get into that career, I can suggest you some kind of learnings. I can share you more details about it, Matthew.
Thank you, Prudve. Thanks a lot. You have two more questions.
Yeah.
One is, how do you transition to managerial roles in today's Canadian market?
So yes, as I mentioned that, so certifications is one of the major thing. So make sure that you have that proper certifications, because as I mentioned that I'm a normal TA person when I joined into the talent acquisition. So what makes me different into I'm moving into a management role is I have my project management certified. I did like a lot of projects or something that gave me like really good experience. So make sure if you are if you want to transitioning into a kind of like a manager roles, get that exposure, do some certifications as well. And as well as I mentioned that get that mentor support as well. If you know someone who did like a project management or something, get to know about like how do they handle projects or something. There are some courses as well for this, like to know that how you can handle the projects or something. So that would be useful for you, because project management is everywhere. Manager roles are everywhere. Any part of organization will have a manager role. So the only main area is like how you handle the product. So there are some kind of steps like gathering the requirements, initiating it, deploying it, and everything, like testing it, everything. It's very common factor. So if you learn that, you can learn that from the certifications, or you can learn that from your mentors, or even you can get some career counselor, or even if you are currently working, you may find your colleagues as well, like who are doing a manager roles, you can get as well that counseling from them as well. So that's how you can enter into the manager role.
Love it. Another question is, how do you approach the Canadian job market stroke interview as a new migrant with no previous Canadian experience?
So I answered this question when I was talking about it. So I gave you an example as well. My friend who was looking for an opportunity for like almost an year. So the main thing is that make connections. If you are looking out for opportunities, try to make that connection, reach out to that people, and just get some idea about the company and everything, if they're hiring or not, and then ask them like, okay, what exactly the roles they have, and if they have an opportunity, just ask them that what would be the best way to connect with them or something like that to find an opportunity. So that's the best way to get into the market. And obviously the interview is like a different thing. At least to get an opportunity to review the resume, to reach out to the employer, try to connect with the people. So that's the main area. The interview process, as I mentioned, that make sure read the job description very clearly twice, and make sure you clearly mention your job responsibilities, what exactly the employer looking at. I assure that, as I mentioned, that 60% of resumes has been declined because of that. Because I see that everyone adds their skill sets and no one mentions about what exactly they're doing in the market today. So your resume is the first place how it can be picked up. So if you are maintaining it very clearly and mentioning, okay, I have so and so experience, I did this in my previous organization, in my previous project or something, that gives like more scope to the employer to understand that, okay, he did this kind of stuff, or like they did this kind of experience in the previous organization, and they're interested to look into your profile and they'll call for an interview. So that's one of the thing. And I have an example. Like it's not wrong with the job seekers today, because I know how they're looking for a job in the market. People reach out to me every time on LinkedIn. They just simply say that, okay, if you have an available openings, please do let me know. But that's not the way how you need to reach out to someone. First, get to know about the company, find some opportunity, and then go to the connections people like TA or someone else, and ask them like, I find an opportunity which is suitable for me. Can you give me like more details about it, or can you let me know like how I can be part of that organization to get this opportunity? That means that shows that how due diligence you are, like how you're interested with the opportunity and you went into the opportunity and you looked for the opportunity. So that's how it gives you like more confidence and as well as the trust to the employer that you have did your due diligence and you applied for the role. So that's what I'm trying to say. Don't blindly apply. Anytime, make the connections, go through the job description perfectly, reach out to the connections, and get the opportunity. I see that, as I mentioned, that most of the people who are getting the opportunities these days are by connections. And so that's way it's good for your success as well.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that explanation. All makes sense. Dipo, I think we've answered the first question you had posed. Is talking about new immigrants and difficulties getting a job. Toby talked about Canadian experience as a new immigrant, so I think that has partially been answered. However, I think there's a second question that says that no recruiter actually tells you that they are rejecting you because you don't have Canadian experience. So do you want to tackle that, Ruby? No recruiter. So it says no recruiter actually tells you. So like when someone applies, the recruiter will not tell you that you don't have a Canadian experience. That's why they are declining their application. I think for me, what comes to mind is that first of all, based on the legal requirement, companies can not ask a candidate whether they have Canadian experience or not. So it's against the law. And I think that came about, I think this year, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe late last year, right? So, but as you write your resume, it's already saying that maybe you don't have Canadian experience, but recruiters won't come and tell you because it does, I mean, legally, we are not supposed to, right? We just decline the application. And then, that puts you at a disadvantage. So Fruitful covered it like in your resume, just make sure that you are um how do I say it, that your resume just speaks loud. Sometimes I tell people to remove the Nigeria, the Lagos, the Africa, just leave it blank. If you work for First Bank of Nigeria, just put First Bank there. At least I think your resume is the first step in connecting to the organization. If you can cross that hurdle, then the onus lies on you to speak and defend yourself during the interview. So that's that. So again, back to Prithvi, there's one question that says, why do most recruiters fail to give personalized feedback when they reject a candidate?
No, I understand because every recruiter work in a different way. So it's not something that because the one thing you have to understand, I totally agree, like your way of thinking and as well, but you have to think from the recruiter standpoint as well, because when I'm in this role from almost 10 years, there were like hundreds, thousands of applications you will see every day in the job applications. So think of it like if a recruiter wants to share the feedback to 1,000 people, how hard it is. So that's one of the reason behind that. And the other reason is that it's your due diligence to reach out to that recruiter. Because if you are getting some rejection, that means your responsibility is to get that feedback, send an email to that TA partner or send an email to the interviewer or something, request a feedback. So that's something you have to do it from your end. And then if you're not getting a feedback from the employer, so that's kind of the employer's branding and trust that they're losing it from the market. But as I mentioned, that there are like two situations as I mentioned. So one is that as we have like thousands of applications for each role, it's very hard for us to communicate for 1,000 people. So that's the reason you won't get that kind of rejection feedback. But sometimes people send us email, so we reply back to that emails on a good note and saying that, okay, this is your feedback. So that means you're doing your due diligence. So that's the reason we are also taking it as our responsibility and we are sharing the feedback. So it's kind of like it should be from the both ends. So if you are not getting the feedback, please do reach out to the TA partners or the interviewers and try to get the feedback.
Thank you, Prithvi. I think maybe
Yeah.
sometimes next year we would organize another session on job search and interviewing because, again, because of our time, we need to close now. There's a very big piece that we also need to talk about, which is the ATS system, the applicant tracking system. Because,
Yeah.
when we receive 1,001 resumes, it's not possible, humanly possible, that a recruiter is going to go through 1,000,001 resumes. It's not possible.
Yeah.
So I know Prithvi mentioned it slightly, but it's also a very big topic, ATS screening, and how do I even jump that hurdle that I can get a phone call from the recruiter. So we'll organize something again next year. So one more question, and then we
Yeah.
can call it a day to Prithvi, is that hold on, I lost it there. Hold on, just one. Okay. how do you transition as an ex-banker who has over a decade cognate experience back home, but employers still require a Canadian experience?
Yeah, as mentioned that G-Day, because it's more of like don't try to mention anything kind of like a country location. That's the main area, because as an TA, I should not say this end of the day, but I'm just saying you that because when you keep your experience as, like, take an example as a banker or like whoever, like, have that cognate experience or something, my employer or like my hiring manager is looking out for that experience. End of the day, if you're not mentioning your location as well, that's fine. End of the day, you have that experience. In the first case, we'll pick your resume, at least we'll review, and we will share it to the hiring manager. And end of the day, if hiring manager is interested, that's a golden spot for you.
Okay.
But if you are adding your kind of like a back home kind of location and everything, that's where you will get like first rejection email. So as Jide mentioned, that would be the best suggestion, that not to add your previous location or something, so that way the profiles can be picked up.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I know, Shorty, maybe just one more question.
Yeah,
Do you have contacts for tech internships?
yes, we do. I know we just closed recently here in GM about our tech internships as well. But there are other companies as well who are hiring. But I can share you the details. But even if you find any opportunities or something, if you need any kind of referrals, I have like a lot of connection in other companies as well. I can talk to them and I can share you more details about it. I'm happy to help on that. Please connect me on LinkedIn.
Absolutely. I'll share Prudvi's email and I mean, you can also look him up on LinkedIn, but I'll share his email and his contact details to this group, so you have it. Prudvi, thank you so much again for your time. I really, really do appreciate it. I know you are calling from India. You should be
No,
sleeping
that's
by
okay. No
now.
worries.
But I really, really enjoyed the conversation. Thank you so much. I'm so much grateful and indebted to you.
No, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Jide, and thank you so much for giving me this wonderful opportunity and connecting with this such a wonderful people. But thank you, team. Thank you so much for everyone, and happy Sunday and enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. So again, if you have lots of questions for Prudvi, I can consolidate it and send it to him. I know where to catch him. So
Yeah, please feel free to reach out to me. I know I'll not sleep. I'll respond.
no worries. Thank you. So we'll move to the second session. I'm sorry, we have a break for 15 minutes before we move to the second guest speaker, Fola, who is also, a world-class cybersecurity professional. So Oli, over to you.
Yes, so I think we should just take maybe a quick 5 minute because we've actually ran over time, and then we'll be getting started with meeting Fola, so that should be very, very exciting. Please, let's just take a quick 5 minutes, 5 minutes, guys, just so that, because we do want to wrap this up at 2:30. We don't want to take everyone's afternoon. So please, let's come back at 1:35, and then we'll be ready to meet Fuller. Sorry, Brother Jude, please can you play us some of those beautiful music for the next 4 minutes before?
Okay, we'll do. I'll do it.
Thank you.
You lead, always for the one. Can we turn up? Can we turn up? Can we turn up? Can we turn up? Hey. He really, really moves. Oh, that's what it says. I know he loves me. I know he cares. Whenever I call, he always is right there. In times of trouble, he is my help. Yeah, I know no fear. I know he'll be right there. Hey, he really does what he says he will do. My God really moves. Oh, hey, why would I doubt when he always comes through? My God really moves. Oh, he really, really moves. Oh, come on, sing the verse, y'all. I know he loves me. I know he cares. Whenever I call, he always is right. When I'm in trouble, he is my help. And I know no fear. I know he come on, we say, yeah, he really does what he says he will do. My God really moves. Whoa, yeah. Why would I doubt when he always comes through? My God really moves. Whoa, yeah. He really does what he says he will do. My God really moves. Baba, yeah. Baba, Baba. Why would I doubt when he always comes through? My God really moves. He really, really moves. Oh, he really comes through for me. Oh, every time, on time, every time. Come on, this your part. Come on, let's say. No, man, you're always on time. You can't do no wrong. Oh, man, come on. You leave the 99, always for the one. Oh, man, you're the God who does good. Always on time. You can't do no wrong. Oh, man, yeah, Baba, Baba, leave the 99. Come on, oh, man, you're always on time. You can't do no oh, man, you leave. You got one more year. Come on, oh, man, you're always on time. You can't do no you leave. Come on. Hey, he really does what he says he will do. My God really moves. Oh yeah. Baba, Baba, Baba. When he always comes through. My God really moves. Oh yeah. He really does what he says he will do. My God really moves.
All right, so we are going to start the second topic. And before we start, I know Sister Oli has put it on the group chat that we need to put in our contact details on link. Please, it will be good for us to, to connect with each other on LinkedIn. So if you've not done so already, please on the group just share your ID, and then we can, we can connect with each other and network. Okay, please give me 1 second. All right, so I think we can get started with the second guest speaker. So we have Fola with us today, and she's a seasoned technology assurance leader and career coach. Fola journey began several years ago as an IT associate at KPMG, where she gained valuable experience across various sectors, including consulting, financial services, and telecommunication. Today, she has successfully guided over 150 individuals. Wow. Without prior tech background. Remember, we said, you don't really need to have a degree in tech. when Sister Oli played the Kahoot. So I think it's also very evident based on her profile, being able to coach people without those backgrounds. Our expertise span cybersecurity, cloud security, network security, information security, and data privacy. With a proven track record of nurturing talent and driving success, she has been nominated for several awards. She's passionate about empowering others to thrive in the tech industry and excited to continue making a meaningful impact. With that, I would like to hand over to Fola, who is going to take us through a crash course or a master class on cybersecurity. Sister Fola, over to you. You are welcome, and we are lucky to have you. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jide. That was an amazing intro. Hi everyone. My name is Fala. I'm so happy to be here. I had to jump out of a class to come here, so really super excited to meet all of you. Okay, so my name is Fala. Mr. Jide has introduced me already. I tried to create a slide for this session. Am I able to go ahead and share my screen?
Yes, you should be. Bratola, if you can grant Sister Fola, but you should be able to.
Okay. Okay, can everyone see my screen?
Yes, very bright.
Okay. Okay, by the way, I did this a few minutes ago. So you might notice that what I'm saying at times and what is on my screen are not in alignment, but that's okay. So basically, the topic for today is navigating the Canadian job market, strategies to overcome challenges and prepare for success. I think something every one of us will agree about, especially for those that are in the job market right now, is things have changed significantly, right? I moved to Canada 5 years ago, and the job market was not as tough as it is right now. So when you go on LinkedIn, when you want to apply for a job, you see 100 applications, 100 and something applications. What I need everyone to understand today is, as a recruiter, it's not humanly possible to go over all of those applications. So what it means is you do not just want to be a number, right? You don't just want to be part of that 100 application. So what it means is right now, you need to do something different. There's a saying that if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you keep getting the same result. So in today's job market, you need to stand out. How do you do this? Through a couple of ways, right? When your LinkedIn profile is so optimized, recruiters will reach out to you all the time. When you apply for a job, you now also need to reach out to the recruiter, look for somebody that works for that organization, let them refer you, or send like a pitch to the recruiter to say, hi, my name is this. Do you have some, time for a coffee chat so we can discuss how my skills, my experience best aligns for this role? So basically what I'm saying is, I hear a lot of people say, oh, what if I do 100 applications per day? It's not about the number of applications you put in. It's about what you do, either before or after you apply. That is what is going to make you stand out. Okay, so we're just going to talk about a few things today. I wasn't really sure whether to focus on cybersecurity or not cybersecurity. So what I've done is I'll talk about both cybersecurity and outside cybersecurity. So we're going to quickly look at the Canadian job market as it is today. So first of all, I will talk a bit about cyber and then outside cyber as well. So when it comes to cyber, the demand for cybersecurity roles are massive. But then as I always hear, how come there are roles but we're not getting these jobs? Well, it's because of what I just explained, right? It's not just about putting the applications, but you now need to go above and beyond to make sure that your resume gets seen by a human. And what are the key market challenges? So we have competition with skilled international candidates. You need to understand that recruiters only care about whether you'll be a good fit for not just the job, but also a good cultural fit, meaning that they're looking at both your technical skills and soft skills. So some people go for interviews, they don't do well. It's not as if they don't know the job. They know the job, but they've forgotten soft skills. So you need to be likable, or you need to seem across as somebody that will be likable to be a good fit. So competition now, you now have so many international people coming into Canada, so many people. So what it means right now is you need to do more than what you're currently doing, not just putting in the application, but then looking for how to stand out. Whenever you write your resume, don't think as Fola writing Fola's resume. Think as, how will this appeal to the hiring manager? Right? The hiring manager has probably less than 2 minutes to gloss through my resume. Have I worded my resume to highlight the key points that the recruiter is looking for? Have I put in the right keywords? In terms of certifications, sadly, recruiters love certifications, right? So there's nothing we can do about that. So, do you have those certifications? If you don't have it, that's not a problem. As long as you're working towards it, you can put it on your resume and have it as work in progress. What that will do for you is to help you bypass the ATS. ATS is the application tracking system, right? It's an automated way for recruiters to check if you have the right keywords they're looking for on your resume. Another key challenge is this Canadian work experience. Most recruiters, unfortunately, prioritize Canadian work experience. And what I always say is, I really don't blame them. You need to think of it this way. Canada is an open country. You have people coming from all over the world claiming to have different skill sets, different experience, right? Not all of that information is true. So that is why hiring managers have decided that, you know what? Maybe I recruited somebody 2 years ago. Half of what he said he could do during the interview, we realized that he could not do them. So we need to find a way to be able to know who truly has the skills and experience versus who is claiming to have what they don't have. So for recruiters, once you have Canadian experience, it's more like you've ticked the box to say, okay, this person is credible. If this person has worked for a Canadian company, then it means that this person will most likely tick all the boxes I'm looking for. That is an easy way for them. But for people in the market, what it now means is this is an extra hurdle. So how do you overcome this? You now need to start thinking, right? I'm just coming from Nigeria. I'm just coming from any country. How can I demonstrate Canadian work experience? There are a few ways of doing this, right? In fact, there are job simulation platforms. A good example is forage.com. If you go to forage.com, you're going to see different organizations across the world, Canada, US, where you can remotely work with their teams, maybe on a particular project or on a particular assignment. At the end of the day, they will give you a certificate of completion, which you can then take to LinkedIn, right? To say, oh, I just completed maybe a cybersecurity awareness program with MasterCard, right? You put that in your resume, you put that on your LinkedIn profile as well. Or you look for internship opportunities. Again, Canada's job market now is about selling yourself. So you need to learn how to reach out to recruiters to sell yourself. Hi, my name is this. I have 5 years of working experience in this area. I know you're looking for somebody that can do ABC, and this is how I check that box. Don't wait for recruiters to reach out to you. You can also reach out to them. Okay, so there are so many ways of overcoming this Canadian work experience. Bear in mind that even though it's a bit difficult, people are still getting jobs even without Canadian work experience. And then that brings me to growing need for multidisciplinary skills. The technology space has changed significantly with AI, Gen AI, all these algorithms, neural networks, process automation. What it means is for non-tech people, right? You now need to know tech one way or the other. There are a lot of layoffs happening. Organizations will just wake up one morning and you hear that they laid off a number of people. Why? Because of process automation. You need to start thinking your role as at today, can it be done by AI? Is it one of those routine roles that all they need to do is automate certain processes and your role will no longer be needed or required for your organization? And then you need to start thinking, what can I do to upskill? How can I remain relevant within today's job market? So you might be an accountant, but at least you need to start learning about technology. You need to start learning about cybersecurity so that our work, you can be seen to be visible. The perception about you is, wow, this person knows what he or she is saying. Okay. When I joined, I heard something about Oli mentioning the fact that you don't need prior tech experience to be successful in tech. That is very true. Now, it's not magic. Unfortunately, a couple of people think, well, because Oli and Fala said, I don't need prior tech experience, then it's a walk in the park. No. What it means is if you put in your time, you put in the effort, you sign up for a training, right? And you're ready to put in the work, then it is possible. And one thing you need to look at is for somebody that has no proud tech experience, remember that at the end of the day, nobody cares. Everybody's in the job market to get a job, all right? So at the end of the day, you need to have the skills and you need to be able to demonstrate it. So that is what matters at the end of the day. So I'm going to quickly talk about cybersecurity and some free resources out there. For example, you have CC. CC is certified in cybersecurity. It's a free entry level exam for anybody that wants to go into cybersecurity, and it is being offered by ISC2. So if you go into Google today and just put ISC2 CC or certified in cybersecurity, there's a free self-paced training you can subscribe for, and you will get a zero cost voucher to write the exam, right? Whether you want to pursue cybersecurity or not, no knowledge is lost. Now, another way to look at transitioning is industry domain knowledge. So whether you're already in the healthcare, meaning you already understand the industry, the healthcare industry. So you now need to think, what are the cybersecurity rules that focus on healthcare? So you have rules around data privacy, rules around HIPAA, rules around security compliance for your industry. And since you already know this industry, all you need to do is learn a bit more and you're good to go. You can start with the industry, which is where you're already comfortable in. Or if you're already used to banking, meaning you already know some banking terms, you know the applications they use, you know their customers. So you can also start looking at cybersecurity rules for your industry, financial industry, right? Maybe as part of your role right now, your job is when auditors come in, they're going to speak to you to show compliance. So you can start from there, right? Leverage free resources out there. Or if you're opportune to maybe sign up for a bootcamp, sign up for a training, even better, start looking at people within that field on LinkedIn. Start networking with people, right? If you want to become something and you want to become successful, you need to look for people that are already successful within that space and start leveraging. Don't wait till when you need their help. No, start building that relationship before you even need their help, right? Google ChatGPT has a lot of resources. So you need to start looking at all of this. You need to do an assessment on your skills to say, if I'm an accountant today, and I want to become a tech person. I want to become a cybersecurity specialist. What are the skill sets I require? Google again. If you go to Google right now, look for the jobs you would be interested in within the cybersecurity space. Look up at least 5. Write out the certifications that are common to all, the skills that are common to all, the job description that are common to all. And then start thinking, okay, do I know this? What do I know out of all of these states? Which one do I even know? If you're an accountant, as an example, one of your transferable skills will be data analysis. Accountants, they know Excel, they can write macros, they can do magic with data on Excel, right? Even in cybersecurity, you need data analytics to be able to make sense of information. From vulnerability aging to access control management, data analysis will play an important role. So start thinking, what do I have right now that would help me achieve what I want to achieve? And you can look for people. So if maybe you've already started building these network connections, then you can easily set up a coffee chat with one of these people to say, oh, I see you're doing really well in cybersecurity. I'm looking to transition in cybersecurity. And you have like 10 minutes with your questions, the person can walk you through. At least the person will share some of the common mistakes the person had so that you don't make the same mistakes. So transitioning is possible as long as you're ready to put in the work. And you know, adult education is not easy, right? Especially multitasking. You have kids, you have your normal 9 to 5, and then you want to start something new. So you must be able to juggle all of these things. And you also need to know that there are a lot of tech roles that you actually don't need tech as such. Think of tech sales, right? Some people, all they do, sales, marketing within the tech space. So you need to start looking for roles that are not too technical. And another common question I hear people say is, oh, cybersecurity, I don't want to code. I don't want to. Not all cybersecurity or tech roles require coding. I studied computer science, but I have not had any reason to code since I left university. So don't dwell on, is it possible? Why don't you research or really find out whether it is possible or not? And don't let fear hold you back. The fear of the unknown, the fear of, oh, can I do this? Can I not do that? At times, when you actually start doing it, you realize that, so this thing is actually not that bad. So why was I worried in the first place? Okay, so in terms of a market trend, the numbers are looking good. People say, oh, I'm not getting jobs. But if you go online today, you will see job opportunities, right? So the question is, why is it not converting? Why are my applications, why am I not getting called for interviews? So you need to do what is called pulse check, right? Or some assessment, self-assessment, self-reflection. If maybe in the month of November, today is what, 16, but like halfway, you've applied for 20 jobs and you've only been receiving rejection emails, then that means there is something wrong with your resume, right? So you need to go back to the drawing board and rework your resume. And thankfully, we have AI tools that would help you rework your resume. You have JobScan, you have Resume by AI. There are a lot of free resources out there that would, if you go to JobScan as an example, take your current resume, take the job you want to apply for, don't pay the free resource, and then scan both. At the end of the day, it will come up with a result to say, this job description, there are certain keywords that appear there that were not found in your resume. So it will basically give you a report of how you can optimize your resume. Your resume should be a living document, meaning you keep tweaking, you keep updating, you keep customizing. Try not to use the same resume to apply for all jobs. And here is why. Company A might be searching for maybe a compliance specialist, but the job description will be different from company B searching for the same job title with the same job description. So whenever you can, try to customize your resume. It's very important. Over time, after you've customized it over and over again, you realize that you will now have one resume that is fit for purpose. And another good thing is when you're looking at, I hear a lot of people say, oh, I don't want to have to go into the office. I'm looking for remote roles. I need better salary. That's why I love tech, right? There are so many tech opportunities. You can start in one area today. In another few years, you move up to another area. All right. So that really checks a lot of people's boxes in terms of remote work. I personally, I've been working from home since COVID, and I'm not sure I can even do hybrid anymore. Okay, I will not dwell too much on job outlook because it's already a known fact that cybersecurity keeps growing exponentially. Why? Every day you watch the TV, every day you listen to the news, it's always one cybersecurity incident, one data breach or the other, right? Every time organizations face a data breach or security incident, the next thing they do is, how do we prevent this from happening? Organizations within the same industry are now running helter-skelter to say, if this happened, to a competitor, it might also happen to us. So how do we proactively prevent it from happening? And that is why every day more and more cybersecurity rules are opening up. Okay, so what I have on this slide are challenges in the current job market, right? Whether cybersecurity, whether not cybersecurity. Economic factor is a big one. We all know what inflation is right now, right? The same way you feel like, oh, my salary is no longer enough for all of my expenses. Some organizations too are downsizing, saying we need to cut down on costs because at the end of the day, they need to be able to provide money to their shareholders. Skill gap is another one, right? With the proliferation of IT and all this disruptive technology, employers are now looking for specialized skills. So you need to review your resume. Do I have these specialized skills? If no, then what do? You need to upskill. Upskilling is the gold in today's market, right? And then underemployment for immigrants due to lack of Canadian experience. I think for anybody that is just new to Canada, this is something they're going to keep facing. So that is why you need to think outside the box. And job simulations, internship would help you to overcome this. Competition. Competition right now is stiff, very stiff actually, right? And that is why having or building your personal brand on LinkedIn is very important, right? Also, your strategy when it comes to job application. That's also another key one. So rather than just applying because you'll become another number, why not start with job referral? Look for somebody that works within that organization. Even if you don't know anybody, go to LinkedIn, search by the organization name. Look for the people that work there. You can even use ChatGPT if you don't want to, if you don't like writing, to coin the verbiage. Be polite. You know, the way we write emails here is different from Nigeria. It's more of a conversational and friendly manner, right? Ask them if they will be willing to refer you for the job. And the good thing is when you refer somebody for a job, it's a win-win. Most organizations will give that person, maybe a referral bonus. So it's a win-win. I tell people, if you come to me to refer you, gladly, because if you get the job, I also get a referral bonus. And these are some other words. Skill gaps. Skill gaps. Your resume is like a working advert. Nobody is going to say, oh, Fala, tell me ABCD. My resume should be able to say all I need, like all I want them to know. That is what my resume should be able to talk about. So the skill sets they're looking for, say, oh, I'm looking for somebody that knows access control management. I'm looking for somebody that knows vulnerability management. Then for sure, those things must be very visible on your resume, right? And talent supply shortage. That's a key thing in cybersecurity. Everywhere you go, everywhere you turn, this is something senior management within cybersecurity keep complaining about. Certifications are very important in the cyberspace. Every job you look at, you see knowledge or one or more of the following certifications. So what I tell people is start small, right? Start with the really easy ones. Don't go and start with CISSP. The failure rate is very high. Start with the easy ones. CISM, certified in cybersecurity, Commercial Security Plus. And the good thing is, for you to pass this exam, you do not require to code. We need to understand that cybersecurity is not just about coding and hacking. Unfortunately, when you watch movies, what do you see? Hacking. Or you see someone writing codes, or you see a black screen with some text on it. No, that's not all cybersecurity is all about. There are less technical roles in cybersecurity. You have roles like governance, risk, and compliance. Governance is basically where you're writing security policies, procedures. You have security risk management, which is basically you assessing cybersecurity risks. And we're all risk managers in one way or the other. Before you go out physically, you want to check the weather. If you want to go for a picnic, is it going to rain? Is it going to be sunny? And then you dress accordingly. So that is you assessing your risk. So when you bring this to cybersecurity, it's just a bit different from what you already do. Preparing for success in the job market. So we've talked about upskilling, very important. You need to know the different certifications and what they do. Now, certifications are theory. So having a certification is not just enough. The practical knowledge is also very important. So certification is just one of the other many steps you need to take. Building tech and soft skills, also very key, right? The truth is, if you're too technical, you will not even be able to communicate to senior management because you need to be able to relay whatever information in simple and clear terms. The business supports IT or cybersecurity because IT is a cost center. So you need to be able to make your case clearly to the business. So in fact, the fact that you do not have a proud tech experience would actually benefit you when it comes to communicating with the business. Why? You already have a good business acumen. You understand the business already. So now you just need to break it down to them in an easy way, in a clear and simple way. Okay, so I really don't like talking alone. I see everybody have their videos turned off, right? So if you're following, if I can see like a reaction from you, right? Just to know that you're following. And then if you have any questions, please just put them in the chats. I want to know that I'm speaking to people. I'm not just talking to myself. And if there's any area you really want me to focus on, you can put that in the chat. I will just pick it up. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so on this slide, I have some information about overcoming Canadian job market challenges, which I've talked about a couple already. In terms of gaining Canadian work experience, seek internships. Internships are very important. If you attend any maybe training, you still need to be able to practicalize all that information. You need to be able to apply that knowledge to any company, any industry you find yourself. So internships are key. Co-op. If you go online now and just Google cybersecurity internships or co-ops, you'll find quite a number. And there are actually some cybersecurity programs that incorporate internship. For example, I have a training outfit called Infinite Consulting. And as in addition to the training, we also do internships. That way you are able to show Canadian work experience on your resume, and you are also able to work in a real life experience, real life setting, so that when you get on the job, you have the confidence. One problem why people cannot seem to succeed is imposter syndrome, the fear of the unknown. That's another key one. Okay, so I see Matthew's question. Please, what are the broad areas of cybersecurity? Okay, so I would look at the domains of cybersecurity. Depending on who you are asking, there are multiple domains. But GRC is one of it. I see Samsung has already, someone, I can't get the name, has already responded. So governance, risk, and compliance is one. You have identity and access management, which is basically access control. You have vulnerability and patch management. You have cloud security. You have application security. You have security testing and assessments. That's where penetration testing, the red team, the blue team, that's where they come in. You have security operations. So security operations looks at things like security incident management response, analyzing of logs from security tools like your firewalls, your IDS, intrusion detection, IPS, intrusion prevention systems. So if you want to transition to cybersecurity, the very first question you want to ask yourself is, how technical do I want to go? So once you answer that question, there are some roles in cybersecurity where you're less of a doer, but more of a talker, right? So whatever criteria you're looking at, there will definitely be something for you within the cyberspace. And we've also talked about networking. In today's job markets, I hope everybody is on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is where you get jobs right now. Like practically every day, I have recruiters reaching out to me for one role or the other. Why? Because I've created a strong personal brand. Mind you, I'm one of those people that I don't like LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is just to, I'm happy to announce, LinkedIn is, in my opinion, LinkedIn is just, I don't know. But LinkedIn is just one of those things you need to figure out, right? Because that's the easiest way to get a job. You would have recruiters reaching out to you a whole lot. And bear in mind, those recruiters have like 100 applications already, but they prioritize LinkedIn profiles. If they've reached out to you, they will prioritize you over those that have just applied via LinkedIn. Oh, sorry, via their job application portal. So having a good brand is very key. And that is why you see people going to LinkedIn to say, I'm happy to announce that I just completed one course, right? What are they doing? They're showing that they are upskilling. And the more you post on LinkedIn, the more it will pop up on other people's pages. So if maybe a recruiter is looking for somebody that can fit a particular role, and they see you just posted something, maybe your thoughts, or you just completed a training around that area, then there's a high possibility that the recruiter would reach out to you. Okay, we've talked about upskilling, enrolling in relevant courses. If you want to go by self-study, that's also very good, right? Just make sure you are not overwhelmed. Then tailored application. I've also talked a bit about that. Making sure you customize your resumes, making sure you write a cover letter. You don't have to start all of this from scratch, right? You can leverage AI. Also, we've talked about transferable skills. Research planning. You want to understand the trends within the industry you want to move into. What are some of the keywords, right? For example, okay, I see Deepa's question. Is it better to apply for a job on LinkedIn rather than on the recruiter's website? By saying applying on LinkedIn, I'm guessing you mean easy apply. Now, easy apply, the way it works is easy apply will take your information from LinkedIn and then upload it to the job application website. What recruiters generally recommend is, rather than do easy apply, go to the company's website and apply from there. What I will add to that is, before you even do any of that, look for somebody that works for that organization to refer you internally, right? Do that first, because when you come through referral, your chances are higher. The chances that somebody would review your resume is way higher than you just applying via the website. If you can't find anybody, the good thing about LinkedIn is, for most jobs on LinkedIn, when you finally want to apply, it automatically take you to the company's website. But you're going to get a notification saying your LinkedIn profile has been shared with the recruiter. So what you can do is search for the recruiter on LinkedIn and then reach out to that recruiter. I organized a masterclass where I brought in some technical recruiters, both from different industries, different organizations. And what a lot of them said is, when anybody reaches out to them via LinkedIn, they prioritize that person. Why? Very few people do that. So for them, that's a game changer. So if you can do that, fantastic. So it's not only for you to get a job, but interview prep, right? What I'm beginning to notice, the trend I'm beginning to notice now is, it seems like a lot of people have lied on their resume. So recruiters are beginning to ask some funny questions. Questions like, who did you report to in one organization you've worked for? There are some organizations that before they even interview you, they will do like a mini background check on you. They would ask you to provide maybe contact details for 3 people that can vouch for you before they even schedule you for the interview, right? I'm beginning to see a lot of that, especially for contract roles. So when it comes to interview prep, how do you then prepare for the interview? Remember that nobody's going to be asking you theoretical questions during the interview. Nobody's going to say, what is cybersecurity? They'll be asking you practical questions where, if you've not practicalized some of these things, it will be difficult for you to answer. You also want to use the STAR method, all right, which is basically situation, task, action, and results. Truthfully, during an interview, you might be too nervous to remember STAR, but whatever you say, let there always be the action you performed and the results. right? So after I did A, B, C, D, I got maybe some kudos, or they sent an email to my manager, commending how I was able to manage the situation. And during interviews, what will make you stand out from others is going above what they've asked you. So say they ask you a question, answer the question, then give examples. If you can even maybe something has happened within the industry lately that you can even say, for example, this organization, that is going to score you some additional points. Remember that an interview, they're basically comparing your performance to other people's. So you want to make sure that you remain outstanding. At the end of the interview, they remember, oh, I remember Fala, she asked one question, right? So don't just follow the crowd. At the end of the interview, you must have at least 3 questions to ask, 3 intelligent questions. And don't let those questions just be technical. People in this part of the world, they love to talk about themselves. One question that typically works for me is when I ask them, okay, I went through your profile and I noticed that you've been working for this organization for quite a long time. Can you share with me some of the reasons why you're still with this organization? You see that question? When you ask, they are so happy to tell you. They will begin to talk and talk and talk and talk, right? Now, when you ask questions like that, at the end of the interview, they will remember you. So that's also another way to remain top of mind. If you just answer all your questions the same way other people have answered that question, at the end of the day, you've not done anything outstanding. You've not stood out from others. And I've talked about personal branding. In fact, there was a role I applied for, and then they were asking me questions like, have I written any articles? And I'm like, wow, so it has come to this level. So you need to think, recruiters, companies are now beginning to do things in a slightly different way. So this personal branding is very, very important. Please be on LinkedIn. Don't just be there for being there sake. Once in a while, post something. If you can't post, repost someone else's thoughts, right? Repost someone else's information and add your thoughts to it. When I hire in my organization, most times HR will just tell me, okay, are these the 5 you want us to interview? No worries. Let's go and check their LinkedIn profile. So LinkedIn actually goes a long way. Other resources, there are recruitment agencies that you want to make sure that you are keeping relationships with recruiters. Have your resume uploaded to all these job boards. Indeed, Glassdoor, Workopolis, everywhere. Monster. Why? They will send you emails or call you to say, well, we're looking for a particular role and your resume on our database popped up. Would you be interested in this role? So rather than you searching, they are the ones coming to you. And then there are community resources. There are settlement agencies. A good one is Access Employment. All right. There's another one I joined when I just moved. I can't remember. But basically, what they would do is they would connect you with mentors, people doing well in organizations. So, say you want to apply for a job now, they'll just look for somebody that works in that organization, connect both of you, and that person would advocate for you within the organization. That way, you won't just get lost in all of the applications. Then, of course, look for mentors, look for coaches. There are a lot of professional groups you can join. Okay, so all of this is basically all what I've covered earlier. So I'm just going to skip. We've talked about continuous learning. We've talked about career pathing. So I would skip and then come to Q&A. I like to, get to know people. So any questions for me? It's a quiet house.
Please, guys, are there any questions? I'm just looking in the chat here to see if we have any questions. As Coach Fowler did say, she does have a training program. Maybe Coach Fowler, if you could share the link for us to find that training program. We can also share it just so that people can kind of see what the programs entail in general. But as I said in the chat, please express your interest. I've shared some emails in the chat. If you want to join the program, the idea is we would look to maybe approach Coach Fola as a group and see what discounts might be available for us. So please, if you are interested in a program, I've shared three emails that you can just drop your interest at, and then we can take that back to Coach Fola. I do see.
Okay, Bukola has a question. I'm also going to post my LinkedIn profile as well, and then the link to our website. You can just go through it. So for someone looking to transition into cybersecurity in the healthcare sector, we know healthcare experience. What would you advise? Okay. So a couple of things, which is basically once you know cybersecurity, for you, if you want to go into healthcare sector, there are a lot of cybersecurity regulatory requirements within the healthcare. So you're looking at things like high trust and HIPAA. So a role in GRC would help you achieve this easily. So you need to know your standards and frameworks. You need to know the basics of cybersecurity. So there's some basics of cybersecurity, which is one, you knowing the information security triad, right? If you want to secure confidentiality, integrity, and availability, you need to know that whether healthcare or otherwise. So basically, for you, you need to go through a sort of formal training where you get the skills. As part of what they would cover, HIPAA, high trust would also be there. Security controls would also be part of it. So in terms of risk management, that's also another key one. In terms of the right security tools to put in place, that's also key. So Bukola, the simple answer to your question is as long as you know the fundamentals of a cybersecurity job, you would be able to transition into healthcare. The specifics to healthcare would be the regulatory requirements. All right. But aside from compliance to those HIPAA and high trust, there's still a couple more things you need to know.
Thank you so much, Sister Fola. I think echoing what our first presenter also mentioned is like you guys secretly met somewhere and discussed like, and I know that's not the case because, everything is said, everything you are saying also does resonate. And for everyone on the call, I think we've said it over and over again. Drop your LinkedIn profile. Let's connect. Let's network, right? I didn't know that Sister Fola here is a big person in Scotia. Like, make sure you connect and and find that individual that would pave the path for you. So thank you so much, Sister Fola. Okay, Bro Adibi has a question. I think his hand is raised. So Bro Adibi, over to you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Mr. Fola, for this wonderful session. I have two questions. Number one, I see you have a CISSP. And I just wanted to ask, in terms of certifications, personally, how helpful has this certifications been to you in getting a job and for those considering getting certifications in cybersecurity? That's one. And two, you mentioned earlier on about some freelance jobs that one can do. I think you mentioned the website and you linked it with maybe you can say you've worked with MasterCard and then put that on your LinkedIn profile. I just wanted to get the name of that website you mentioned and how it works. Thank you.
Okay, so the second question is easier to answer because somebody has already posted the link, forage.com. Yes, Olami.Dotun already posted it. So it's in there. If you scroll up, it was posted at 154. So when you go to the website, just go to the one that has to do with cybersecurity. So you see a lot of companies. You see PwC, you see MasterCard. There's one company, Tesla. I can't remember the name of the company. So many companies, right? Go through the job simulations, the way it works, like the PwC one as an example. They are like different videos. They will show you oh, this is the PwC company, this is what we do, these are our teams, different people will introduce themselves. And then it's for a particular period. They'll be giving you tasks to do that you can complete with their employees. So basically simulating the real world experience, what you'll be doing if you were really a cybersecurity professional. And then A lot of what they're going to be providing you will be self-paced. So videos that you watch, and then they give you a task. At the end of the day, when you complete it, they will give you a certificate of completion that will have the company name, the duration, and the task you completed. So that's the forage.com one. Then in terms of certifications, you see that certification question is a loaded question. So, and this is specific to cybersecurity industry. Cybersecurity industry, we love our certifications. All right. Now, bear in mind that the fact that you are certified does not mean you can perform on the job, because certifications test theory, right? But for recruiters, certifications is a way to show industry recognition and credibility. And if you look at it this way, when you say maybe you want to employ a driver and you have 5 people that apply for the role, and all of them claim to be very knowledgeable in driving, you really can't tell which is which. So if somebody now comes and says, well, I have a certification from a particular well-known driving body, I'm sure you will feel more comfortable with going with that person. So that's the same thing with certifications. Certifications show credibility, meaning as a recruiter or as a hiring manager, because I know you have CISM, or because I know you have CISA, or you have CRISC, or Security Plus, or CISSP, I know that, well, for you to have passed this exam, then it means you have what it takes for this job. So I would want to schedule you for an interview. Now, certifications are important, but that is not the only thing, right? Certification is only a means to an end. A lot of people have certifications, but still don't get the job. And a lot of people get the job even without certifications. So just think of certifications as a way to be more competitive, something that will give you a competitive edge. For some job descriptions, they can put something like cloud security certification is important, or willingness to complete the certification within 1 year of joining the job. But typically, some of the common cybersecurity certifications, you have CISM, you have CISA, you have CRISC, you have CISSP, you have CEH, you have CompTIA Family, Security Plus, A Plus, etc. Now, before you start writing certifications, it is important for you to know your area of focus in cybersecurity. Most of these certifications are for specific domain areas. Take CISM. CISM means Certified Information Security Manager. So if you want to pursue roles around information security, around GRC, basically less technical roles, CISM is a good one to have. Now, cloud security, I see someone saying something about CCSK. Cloud security is also something that is becoming really big. Most cybersecurity rules, they need you to know or understand cloud security. When you look at cloud security, you have 2 vendor neutral certifications. You have CCSP and CCSK. CCSP is by ISC2. It's the same body that runs CISSP. Now, those are vendor neutral cloud security certifications. Then you have vendor specific cloud security certifications like AWS Solution Architect. You have something from Google. You have something from Microsoft Azure. All right. So it really depends. What I tell people is don't jump into certification. Have a plan. Your certification should be part of your strategy to achieve something. When you also want to write certifications, be mindful that there are beginner certifications, there are intermediate, and there are advanced levels. CISSP, as an example, is an advanced level cybersecurity certification. I need you to Google the pass rate for CISSP. Pass rate is about 25%. Why? It's a computer adaptive exam, meaning the full duration for the exam is 4 hours. But if the system has deemed that within the first 2 hours, you have failed all the domains, it will not give you the entire time. It will just end your exam and fail it. But within maybe a short period, the system deems that, wow, you've done a great job in demonstrating the right skills across all of the 8 domains, then the system will pass you automatically before the 4 hours expires. But if the system deems that you are neither here nor there, right, it can't make a decision, and it will give you all of the 4 hours. So what I tell people is, if you are just starting and the very first exam you write is CISSP, well, you're on your own. Because the truth is, a few things you also need to understand. These different cybersecurity certifications are managed by different bodies. ISC2 exams are known to be very difficult. They don't repeat past questions. So what it means is when you want to write the exam, having real world experience helps you a lot, right? Like when I wrote my CISSP, bear in mind that I tried to write my CISSP several years ago, but I never prioritized it for 3 years until one of my students passed the exam. And I'm like, how can coach not have this certification? So I did a crash course because I didn't read the entire manual. I did the way people read in different ways. I'm not one of those people that I don't spend a long time reading. I do crash course. 2 weeks, I go and write the exam. A lot of the questions, the way I answered it was, if I was at work and this were to happen, how would I address it? So I used my experience to answer the questions because I didn't read as much as I should have read. So for somebody starting out, I would definitely say start with the exams that have high pass rates, like CISM. CISM, you need 5 years of experience before you can get the certification. So passing the exam does not mean you will get a license, right? But CISM, 80% of the questions are repeat questions. So a lot of people pass CISM. CISA is a bit more difficult than CISM, and they are managed by the same body. CCSP is half of CISSP. It is also by ISC2. So understanding who manages the exam, how difficult or how easy it is to write the exam also plays a key role. But definitely recruiters want to know that you either have the exam or you're working towards writing the exam. But bear in mind that that is also not a showstopper. You can still get jobs without the certification. But for you to climb the ladder, you will need to write the certification either ways. Then I see another question. I didn't say CCSK2 is not bad if you're leaning towards cloud. Yes. But remember that some people are pro CCSP, while some people are pro CCSK. CCSK is managed by Cloud Security Alliance. All right. So it depends on really what you're trying to achieve. Now, personal example. For me, I was thinking of writing CCSP. In fact, I already got the books because CCSP is like half of CISSP. So I'm like, okay, since I've done CISSP, let me do CCSP. But then I've been doing a lot of work around vendor cloud, right? I've been doing a lot of work around AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google. And I've now decided that, you know what, let me hold up. Maybe I should rather do AWS first, since I'm doing more of AWS. So it really depends on what you're trying to achieve. Shoti says, how do you gain practical skills, experience, and knowledge in cybersecurity in Canada as a fresh start for someone who is transitioning into tech space? Question 1. Where is the community that can provide such trainings in practical terms, not theory, which is common with most trainers or experts? Okay, so let me start with question 2 because that's much easier to answer. So for question 2, I run a training outfit and you can go through it. More importantly, make sure you go through our testimonial page, right? When you go to the testimonial page, you will hear from people. You would even see their success stories, testimonials. A lot of my master classes, I bring, old students to actually come and share their experience. And because I am in the industry, I get teased a lot by my colleagues saying, this person that cannot answer. I interviewed one person. I hope, Fola, this is not one of the people from your class, right? So again, because I'm in the industry, our training is focused on practical, what to expect in the real world. When I was talking earlier, I talked about data analytics. In fact, as part of my training, you learn Excel, how to use VLOOKUP, how to do pivots. Why? In the real world, you're going to have to do some reports. You're going to have to get some insights from data, and you need that skill. All right. So it's very important. We also do a lot of case studies. Case study is basically you've learned, all right, but then in the real world, because you don't know which industry you would work for. So you need to understand how to apply the knowledge to any industry or any system. So our case studies, our tool simulation, we also use the tools you'll be using in the real world so that when you get the job, it's much easier for you, right? You can speak the language, you can also do the work. So in terms of training, I would definitely recommend my training because of the results we're getting out there. And I think there might even be somebody within your church that has passed through my training. He was also referred by somebody else that has gone through my training and is doing really well. So in terms of our results, they speak for themselves. Like we have data, we have people to back all of this up. And in fact, another thing I try to do is for a lot of my students or old students, once they start working after some years, I bring them back, right, to come and teach maybe a particular topic. Why? To encourage others. Especially when you hear someone that had no tech experience come to teach and the person is talking like a professional, there's just this inspiration it gives you that, wow, are you sure that you really did not study computer science or cybersecurity? Now, to your first question, how do you get the practical experience? A couple of ways. One, learning, right? Learning. Second one is learning by doing. So that is what the case studies help with. So when you join the program from week one, the class is divided into groups. Each group is going to have different case studies to work on based on the different topics we cover. So at the end of each week, you will go and brainstorm as a team, right? And then come up with your presentation or come up with how you were able to arrive at the result, and then you present it in class. When you present it in class, you're going to have me as well as some judges provide you feedback. Now, these people that are going to assess your presentation are industry experts, right? So these people will be giving you not theoretical feedback, but what is obtainable in the real world. Another way is through capture the flag platforms, CTFs. So you're going to be doing things like Try Hack Me, Google Hack Me Box. That's another way to get job experience and job simulation. We also have an internship program with a tech startup so that once you're done with the program, you join the internship so that you are able to practicalize all of these things you've been learning. It's a continuous process, right? And then you can put that into your resume. Another thing the training covers is a resume revamp, right? Helps you identify your transferable skills, helps you identify the right cybersecurity keywords that will then go into your resume. How to arrange your resume, how to word it in a way to be appealing to the hiring manager. We also cover interview prep. Interview prep is very important. For example, today, some of the things we covered today, I think the case study was we gave them a name of a company, give them certain things, and they said, okay, create a cybersecurity risk register for this organization, and then do a presentation that you present to senior management. The truth is, as a cybersecurity professional, after all that work you do behind the scenes, at the end of the day, you need to present it to senior management. So you're learning both. Also, in terms of tools, we use tools like ServiceNow GRC. We use Nmap to show you how to run some scans. We also use Qualys Guard, right? So if you want to scan for you to be able to see all of that. So all the tools you're going to be needing in the job market, even if we cannot cover all the tools, because the truth is, I see Shorty's talking about SIM tools. There are so many SIM tools. So say, as an example, we utilize maybe ArcSight or Splunk. You might work for an organization that might be using Tripwire SIM, or you might work for an organization that might be using Exabeam. Because the thing about cybersecurity is you have so many tools. So at times, what is more important than the tool is knowing the process. So that whether you're using Exabeam, whether you're using ArcSight, whether you're using Splunk, whether you're using Tripwire, whatever SIM tool you're using, as long as you understand the concept of SIM, you are able to, use any tool. Let's see. Let me go back to the question. Yes. So basically, we have a way in which we sort of introduce it for beginners, right? simple. We use all these job simple. Even this forage I talked about, there are things we do in class. So some of the things I've shared today are things you do in class, because at the end of the day, our last topic is building a cybersecurity profile. All right. So you must be able to tell the story of how you transition from maybe accounting, law, customer care, whatever role you are in into cybersecurity, right? At the end of the day, you need to have a strong cybersecurity profile on LinkedIn. Now, at the end of our training, we have a post-training support group. Why? The truth is, when you've learned something newly, you're going to forget a lot of things, right? At different stages of your career, maybe resume, you have an interview, um, you need to ask questions. So in the post-training support group, I think we're about 180 something right now. And this is a training outfit that has been in the works for over 4 years. So you now have people in different areas. You have people that are incident responders. You have people that they are SOC analysts. You have people that are TPRM specialists. You have people in different roles, basically different organizations. I was emphasizing on referral earlier. So say, for example, you want to apply for a job somewhere, you can go to the post-training support group and ask to say, oh, does anybody work for this organization that can refer me? So basically, we have a lot of in-house resources from the community we've built. We've also have relationships with recruiters. So what this means is recruiters are coming to me daily asking, are you able to recommend somebody for this role? All right, remote role, this is the hours, this is the location. So we're always posting in that group every day, right? And the good thing is, because I'm also in the industry, and because of my position as well at work, I'm able to take a lot of real things, because my role, I employ people. So in terms of what is obtainable, how you need to be able to show that you're the right person for the job, all of that is also covered. So the long and short of my story is, I understand there are a lot of trainers out there and they are saying a lot, but I can assure you that this is different. In fact, there's another branch of RCCG in Alberta that just passed through my last cohort. So they sponsored about 8 people in my last cohort, right? So this is not my first road show with churches or with, organizations. Now, as an organization for Winfinite, we've also opened a consulting branch of what we do. So what we're doing right now is reaching out to organizations. So we reach out to these organizations for maybe specific projects. Maybe we want to do like an ISO 27001 readiness assessment, or we want to do a cybersecurity maturity assessment. So the objective of that is, we're going to pick our students at the end of the day to implement these projects. That way, they also get to practicalize more often. So, Shoti, I hope I've been able to answer your question. Not only that, we have study groups for certifications. So as soon as you join the program, we provide you access to the common cybersecurity certifications. So that is CC, Commercial Security Plus, CISM, CISA, CRISC, right? And then at the end of the training, based on your focus areas, based on your areas of strength, based on your performance, we then do what is called a career mapping session, where you say, oh, out of all the 8 domains we've covered in class, I don't really like this area. These are the areas I like. Then, based on that, we now help shortlist job titles that will focus on your areas of strength, and then recommend applicable certifications to say, okay, if this is what you want to pursue, then this is the right certification. So at the end of the class, we then do what is called a career roadmap, all right? At the end of the 12-week training, that is not the end. The end is till you get a job, right? So we're going to go provide you feedback to say, okay, you've been with us for 12 weeks. Based on your performance, once the training ends, you need to do A, B, C, D. What certification do you want to write? What timeline are you going to provide? So you're going to commit, so that what we are giving you are actionable items with completion timelines, because we're going to be checking on you. Then we have a CISM study group where we sort of help people prepare for CISM, right? We've curated resources. When people pass the exam, they come back to say, oh, the exam was this was my experience, all right? So We have all of that put together, and these are things we keep optimizing. When our students attend interviews, we take those questions, use them to fine-tune our curriculum, right? To make sure that at every point in time, what we are teaching is what is helpful as at today, because cybersecurity keeps evolving. So you want to make sure that we are teaching people the most current information. Okay, that was a mouthful. Shorty, I hope I've addressed your question.
Thank you so much, Coach Fowler. We do appreciate. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the tips and nuggets. And I hope everyone does really take them on, and like we really do appreciate them. Please
Okay,
let
sorry. I
us
see
thank.
one question that I think I might not have addressed from Shorty. SIM tools usage. How do you experience live events, considering no company would allow you into their system? Okay, Shorty, this is very simple. There are a lot of demo information out there that you can get. Aside from that, because we operate as a company, most of our case studies are centered around us. So say, for example, we want to do some analysis. We want to run maybe an application scanning or a web scanning. Well, we're going to be doing it on our systems or on our websites, right? So that way we are actually seeing live. For example, when we get to introduction to penetration testing, and we're doing reconnaissance, all of that, we use our own IPs, our own information. Moreover, AWS, all of these systems, you can actually go in there, create like a lab for you to demo all of these things. So that is not a problem at all.
Well, okay, thanks, Coach Fowler. As you can all see, Coach Fowler is very passionate about our craft, so we really do appreciate. So for everybody, I think Shorty, you might want to be the first person to join our program. I'm thinking of jumping on. I think, Coach Fowler, you were referring to Brother Dan. I don't think he was able to join today. He has other conflicts today, so he wasn't able to join.
Okay.
I think is the one. But as I said, we're looking to put together a group and see what discounts we can get. And yeah, I'm definitely someone that I'm interested in this program. So in the new year, I think I definitely want to join. So please reach out to, I think I sent that email again for you to kind of indicate your interest. We'll be collating names and we'll be reaching out to Coach Fola when she has our next batch of people. It would be nice if we have a couple of people to go together from Anointed Chapel, that would be fun for us to work on our project together and, yeah, mingle on that front. So we really do appreciate you. We thank you for sharing your knowledge and your expertise with us and your tips and nugget. Thank you so much for your time. Much appreciated and very nice to meet you. Thank you, Coach Fola.
Likewise, thanks, Oli, and it's been really nice meeting everyone, although everybody's just hiding somewhere, right? Just so
Trust
you know, if you join my class, we simulate a physical class, meaning you need to turn on your video, right? So that way we're seeing facial expressions. Okay. All right. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I really look forward to seeing a lot of you join my program.
Thank you. Thank you, Coach Fola. Thank you.
All
All
right.
right.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, everyone, we should be rounding up in another, I think, maybe I'll say 2:50 will be the time where we're looking to wrap this up. Thank you so much for joining us. But I believe we had somebody here as well, a consultant that has a training program, Mandolin. So maybe we just quickly give Mandolin 2 minutes to tell us about her program and also maybe share details. And anyone that is interested, they can also just reach out and yeah, and then we'll wrap up from there. I'm just trying to see if I can find Mandolin.
Yes,
Mandolin,
I'm on
please.
the call.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi, hi. Okay. Yes, please tell us about your program and what you offer, what the price point looks like. Maybe just give us a little nugget and then maybe you can share a link or how we can contact you after the program today. Thank you.
Awesome. No problem. Thank you so much. Great session. I want to say thanks for putting this together. And I'm really glad I was able to learn something. You think you know a lot, but apparently, you don't know as much until you learn from other people too as well. So what we do, my name is Magdalena Yukere, and I'm a project management professional with over 6 years of experience. Um, I I and a few of my partners, we what we do is we work with professionals who want to go into project management field, Scrum Master, product owner, along that line. exactly what Sister Fola has mentioned, but we also help you with looking for a job too as well. So in terms of we do the applications for you, we work with you as well with the training. So our training is for about a month, and it's just a Saturday, the Sunday, Saturday, Sunday for 4 weeks. And after which you'll be given a project to work on alongside with mentors to help you through it too as well. Once the training is done, we would prep you for, interviews, your resume. Once your resume is done, we'll prep you for your interviews. We'll do mock interviews, and everything that you need to success will be handed over to you technically. To succeed will be handed over to you. At that point, we would also have a conversation and decide if you want to go into our placement program or not. So our placement program is the point where we would help you with, all of this interviews, prep and all of that, and also help you with daily applications. We do understand that people are busy, so it takes a full-time job to actually look for, another full-time job. So that's where we come in. We help you take that stress off. And really, truly, all you need to do is study the materials, study your resume, as well as attend interviews, right? After which you get a job, we would help you with references and all of that. So at the point where you do the project, we would be able to stand as a referral for you and say, yes, you've worked with us, we've been an agency for you to get a job. And through that, you can add us to your resume as you work with us. Because I know some people had some complaints about coming from another country with some banking experience. We would definitely help you through the process as well. Yeah, and pretty much everything that she said, just a little bit out of it as well. The training comes with you if you don't have a Scrum Master certificate. The training comes with a Scrum Master certificate too as well. I would attach the link to the website, and as well, I sent the link in too as well. I would attach it too as well. Any questions for me?
Yeah, so I would just say just share the link on here, and maybe if the with the emails I shared earlier on, if you are interested in the project management training as well, maybe you can just indicate. So maybe when you share your email, you can just say, my name is this, I am interested in cybersecurity training, or my name is that, I am interested in project management training. And then we can collate those names, and then we can reach out to Madeline and also Coach Fowler, and then we can take it from there. So I would just say maybe as well, Madeline, because this session is recorded, maybe you can just drop that detail here, because we'll be sharing the recording with people, so other people can also just pick it up from the chat.
No problem. Apologies for my video. We do video sessions too as well.
Okay.
This was a little bit just getting off on the call really quickly. That's why I had to.
No worries. Thank you
All right.
so much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, everyone, we have come to the end of the show today. I call it a show because it's been so star packed, as I say. So thank you so much for joining us, and I hope we all learned one thing or another. Please reach out to Brother Tola, Brother Dan, when you see us around the church, or myself if you have questions. And as I said, I think the cybersecurity, the project management training, these are some of the ways we can some of the issues we've discussed, we can kind of bypass them or, leap over them. So please reach out to us by emails as well. If you even have questions that are not related to the training, if you have other questions or other interests, please reach out to ourselves. Thank you, everyone, and do have a pleasant afternoon ahead. Thanks, guys. Bye.